Hi VC, back again. This is another update for my it's a jazz thing, so it's just a few things I've picked up over the last couple of weeks or so. It was my birthday the other week, so I went shopping up to Tape and Record Exchange up in London, and they've got jazz section upstairs, so I picked a couple of bits up from there that I'll show you later. But first off, what you can hear in the background, hope you can hear it, is a new LP, which I'll take it out here. This is a band called New, which stands for Noble, Edwards and Ward, and it's called Motion. If you can hear it behind me, you can hear it's quite a free jazz type thing. I'm not very good at describing music, so it's basically drums, double bass and guitar. I've heard about it on a review. There's an English journalist called Richard Williams, and he does a blog called The Blue Moment, and he went and saw them in concert, and he basically was describing them as Charles Mingus, Jimi Hendrix and Keith Moon all together without the ego. So that pricked my interest when I heard that, and I went online and I think I found their website and listened to some of it, really liked it. It's on the website is dancingwayang.com. That's dancing WAYANG.com. So yeah, check it out. Like I say, that's the album cover. It's a private press, I think. It's only 300 copies on vinyl, so that's the front, that's the back where it says their names, and then on the inside it's numbered there, and this is number 90 of 300. Hope you can see that. So yeah, that was really nice. And also the first few come with a, hang on a sec, a little one of these little CDs you can use in your computer, and that comes with 2 extra tracks from the sessions as well, but that only comes with the first 100 or so, so they're probably gone by now. But yeah, it's really good stuff. Like I say, very free, very experimental, but it's really good stuff. Once you get into it, give it a few lessons, it's well worth it. And then you get this card as well, which is basically an introduction and words from Thurston Moore, Sonic Youth obviously. So yeah, that's really nice. It just tells you what he thinks about them and everything, and tells you a bit about the band, so definitely check them out. Like I say, New Motion, so that was a really nice one to pick up. Now let's put that down. So yeah, as you can probably still hear in the background, if you can hear it, it's really good. Really good stuff. Now everything else I picked up is completely the opposite to this probably, but that's all the way it goes. I just like most types of jazz really. Which I think I've got, hang on, sorry, just remembered a couple of things I've forgotten. I was watching a video of Big Star 1000 the other week, and he mentioned a book on John Coltrane, which is this one, The Love Supreme, and it's the creation of John Coltrane's classic album, which I got off Amazon for about £2 or £3 plus postage, and that was nice. And then I went to look at my collection for Love Supreme album or CD, I don't have it on vinyl, and found that actually all I had was the live version. It was recorded in France, in Antibes, and I didn't actually have the real CD. I didn't realise that. For all these years I've been listening to this version. So while I was out in London the other week, I picked it up on CD for the first time. So yeah, that's really nice to hear the studio version of it, because I'd only heard the live version before. So yeah, been listening to that, and eventually I'll get round to reading the book as well and listening to that. Something else I picked up as well while I was up in London was Alice Coltrane, and this is called Journey in Satch Danana. I'm not sure how, whether I pronounced that right or not. It's basically, when you read the liner notes, it's sort of about her. It's like a spiritual guru, and it's yeah, Bharati Swami, like I say, Satchi Dewada, and yeah, it's all different songs. And it is really good. So, really good CD, really different. If you don't know, she's a pianist, and then they've got, what was the other? It's Alice Coltrane. She's either on harp or piano. Then you've got Pharoah Sanders on soprano, saxophone, percussion. Vishnu Wood on oud, which is, there's a picture of, it's like, I don't know if you'll be able to see this one. It looks like a big sort of lute or something from what I can see in the picture. Then you've got Charlie Hayden drums, Charlie Hayden bass, Rashid Ali drums, and then also you've got Tulsi on a tambra, which basically looks like it's like a sitar. It's an African version of a sitar from what I remember reading. So yeah, that was an amazing album to listen to. So yeah, if you don't know it, check it out, Alice Coltrane. So those are the sort of bits I picked up in London. The rest here are either older ones, things that I picked up, or a few charity shop finds. So the next one up, like I said, you couldn't get much different to what I've got on behind me. This is Sidney Bechet with Sammy Price and his Bluesicians, and this is a 7-inch single, and it's just 2 songs on this, Memphis Blues and Hot Tin Roof Blues. And if you don't know who Sidney Bechet is, he's a clarinetist. Check him out, excellent, really good. I think this is from the 50s, I think. I'm not sure, I think it's 50. Oh yeah, here you go. 55, 56, somewhere around that sort of time this is recorded, so that was really nice pickup. Another one, again, like I say, very different in sort of jazz. This is Jelly Roll Morton and his Red Hot Peppers, and this is sort of really early jazz. This is probably 1926, 1927 sort of era. And again, if you don't know, he's a pianist. If you don't know, again, just check him out, he's really good. One of the sort of front runners of sort of jazz really in the very early days, so that's really good. Check that one out. Next up are a couple of English jazz musicians, which is Chris Barber and Acker Bill. This is just a best of, really. This is Chris Barber's jazz band and Mr. Acker Bill and his Paramount jazz band, and they basically share a side each on the album. And yeah, it's really nice. If you don't know, again, well, obviously Chris Barber's trombone player, Acker Bill's clarinet. They're really good. They're from, I'd have said this was sort of probably sort of late 50s, early 60s. They were sort of in the trad jazz sort of boom of the late sort of 50s, 60s in England. If you don't know who either of them are, you can check out, if you look at my videos, if you look at the first ever video that is on my feed that I ever did, was actually my wife recorded it, and that's got Chris Barber on that from about 3 years ago, playing with the band that we saw, and he's still really good. So yeah, check him out. Another Englishman again, Kenny Ball and his Jazzmen. This is Greatest Hits again. Again, he's very much of the same era. So this is 1966. So basically, these are this is what's sort of popular in England when the sort of Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Yardbirds, when the sort of blues boom came in. This is basically what was popular leading up to that in England. So you had lots of jazz clubs, and that's where the sort of the blues bands started coming into, like I say, like the Stones and the Beatles and things like that. And that's basically where they, well, I definitely know the Stones in London, where they got their sort of opportunity of doing sort of lunchtime slots or you know, the crappy Monday night slot or something like that. But yeah, again, check it out, really good stuff. Alright, next up is another John Coltrane. This is obviously a reissue. This is My Favourite Things, and this is basically the first John Coltrane that I ever picked up, and it's still my favourite. It's I don't know, I suppose it's just a song I know, but obviously it's where he takes it as well and makes it completely different and turns it on his head. I've also got the CD somewhere, can't see it at the moment, of he live in Newport where he performed it, I think in 63 and 64 or 63 and 65. And again, I mean, this version on this album is 13 minutes 41 seconds. I think the versions on there are hitting the sort of 20-25 minute mark on one of them. So yeah, absolutely excellent. And then last but not least is Steaming with the Miles Davis Quintet. Again, another classic album. Again, it's Miles Davis on trumpet, John Coltrane again on here, tenor saxophone, Red Garland piano, Paul Chambers bass, and Philly Joe Jones on drums. And this was sort of a session that they did in 1956, and they basically, over a few sort of sessions that they did that year, they made 4 albums, which was, there was this one, there was Steaming, there was Cooking, Relaxing, and I think it was Working, and they were all sort of from the same sort of sessions. And I think this is one of I think this is the last session that they did out of all of them. But yeah, they basically got in Reckless Records in Soho. They got quite a good jazz section, and this is the one I chose to pick up. It's sort of one of the ones I know the best out of the 4. So yeah, that's all my jazz pickups. Is there anything else? Oh, hang on, yeah, there is one more thing. It's another book. I picked this up while I was in London as well, and this is The New Face of Jazz. It's a book, and it's just writings on sort of newer artists in jazz. You know, like a lot of people, I think we sort of get bogged down in sort of the classic artists of the genre. So like I've just shown you, I mean, John Coltrane, Miles Davis, even Alice Coltrane to an extent, you know, and we sort of forget that there's new people like what I'm playing in the background and other musicians. So this is a book sort of introducing them. It says an intimate look at today's living legends and the artists of tomorrow. And so yeah, it's got people like McCoy Turner and I think George Benson, Jean-Luc Ponty, and things like people like that, sort of talking about obviously their careers, but also sort of pointing the way to sort of pick new people that they like and things. So yeah, that was a really nice pickup, and sort of widen my sort of idea of jazz and things like that. So it's nice to always find something new. So I hope you've enjoyed this again. Till next time, see ya, bye.